Hey! I doubt that'll do it. You've got to make a noise. Come and get it! Dinner is served! Very amusing. They don't understand English, but I imagine they get the general idea. First customer. You're making too much noise. Bloody hell. Well, you are. I know these animals. You're drunk. Let me handle it. And how will you do that? They say raptors are intelligent. They are. At least as intelligent as chimps. They have good hearing? Yes, excellent. Maybe they'll know this sound. I wouldn't do that. You're going to do that? Let me get the launcher. Get the launcher. Gennaro has the shells. Well then, keep an eye out. God damn it, go. Don't do that. Don't call me girl. I'll call you any damn thing I want. Do you hear me, damn it? How good are these animals, she wondered. Good enough to cut off my retreat? There wasn't much distance back to the fence, not really. Christ, that was close. These bastards can jump. Come on, help me. Let's keep him interested. All she could think was 3 animals here and 2 on the roof. That meant 1 was still missing, somewhere. Grant left the visitor center and moved quickly forward into the mist. He found a path among the palm trees and followed it north. Up ahead, the rectangular maintenance shed emerged from the fog. There was no door that he could see at all. He walked on, around the corner. At the back, screened by planting, Grant saw a concrete loading docks of trucks. He scrambled up to face the vertical rolling doors of corrugated steel. It was locked. He jumped down again and continued around the building. Farther ahead to his right, Grant saw an ordinary door. It was propped open with a man's shoe. He stepped inside and squinted in the darkness. He listened, heard nothing. He picked up his radio and turned it on. This is Grant. I'm inside. Wu looked up at the skylight. The 2 raptors peered down into Malcolm's room, but they seemed distracted by the noises outside. He went to the lodge window. Like birds, Muldoon said, putting on a show. Wu nodded. They're intelligent. They see they can't get her. They're not really trying. Side. Wu gripped the radio. Say again, Dr. Grant? I'm inside. Dr. Grant, are you in the maintenance building? Yes. Maybe you should call me Alan. All right, Alan. If you're standing just inside the east door, you see a lot of pipings and tubing. Wu closed his eyes, visualizing it. Straight ahead is a big resident well in the center of the building that goes 2 stories underground. To your left is a metal walkway with railings. I see it. Go along the walkway. I'm going. After you go 20 or 30 feet, you will see another walkway going right. I see it. Follow that walkway. Okay. As you continue, Wu said, you will come to a ladder on your left, going down into the pit. I see it. Go down the ladder. There was a long pause. Wu ran his fingers through his damp hair. Muldoon frowned tensely. Okay, I'm down the ladder. Good, Wu said. Now, straight ahead you should be 2 large yellow tanks that are marked flammable. They say inflammable. And then something underneath, in Spanish. Those are the ones, Wu said. Those are the 2 fuel tanks for the generator. One of them has been run dry, and so we have to switch over the other. If you look at the button of the tank, you'll see a white pipe coming out. 4-inch PVC? Yes, PVC. Follow that pipe as it goes back. Okay. I'm following it. Ow! What happened?
Nothing. I hit my head.
Are you alright?
Yeah, fine. Just hurt my head. Stupid.
Keep following the pipe.
Okay. The pipe goes to a big aluminum box with air vents in the sides. Says Honda. It looks like the generator.
Yes, Wu said. That's the generator. If you walk around the side, you'll see a panel with 2 buttons.
I see them. Yellow and red?
That's right, Wu said. Press the yellow one first, and while you hold it down, press the red one.
Right.
There was another pause. It lasted almost a minute. Wu and Muldoon looked at each other. Alan?
Didn't work.
Did you hold down the yellow first, then press the red? Wu asked.
Yes, I did. I did exactly what you told me to do. There was a hum, and then a click, click, click. Very fast. And then the hum stopped. And nothing after that.
Try it again.
I already did. It didn't work.
Okay, just a minute. It sounds like the generator is trying to fire up, but it can't for some reason. Alan?
I'm here.
Go around to the back of the generator, to where the plastic pipe runs in.
Okay. The pipe goes into the round black cynical that looks like a fuel pump.
That's right, Wu said. That's exactly what it is. It's a fuel pump. Look for a little valve at the top.
What valve?
It should be sticking up at the top, with a little metal tap that you can turn.
I found it. But it's on the side, not the top.
Okay. Twist it open.
Air is coming out.
Good. Wait until...
Now liquid is coming out. Smells like gas.
Okay. Close the valve. Wu turned to Muldoon, shaking his head. Pump lost its prime. Alan?
Yes.
Try the buttons again. A moment later, Wu heard a faint coughing and spurting as the generator turned over, and then the steady chugging sound as it caught.
It's on.
Good work, Alan. Good work.
Now what? The light hasn't even come on in here.
Go back to the control room, and I'll talk you through restoring the system manually.
That's what I have to do now?
Yes.
Okay. I'll call you when I get there.
Alan? In the darkness of the maintenance room, Grant felt along the pipes, moving back towards the ladder. It was difficult to make his way in the dark, and somehow he found the noise of the generators disorienting. It sounded like Gennaro. Where are you? Over here, in the truck. Grant couldn't see any truck. He squinted in the darkness. He looked out of the corner of his eye. He saw green glowing shapes moving in the darkness. Then he saw the truck, and he turned towards it. You should have seen them, Gennaro said, as Grant led him back out of the maintenance building. There must have been 24 of them. Compies. I had to crawl into the truck to get away from them. They were all over the windshield, just squatting there, waiting like buzzards. But they ran away when you came over. Scavengers, Grant said. They won't attack anything that's moving or looks strong. They attack things that are dead, or almost dead. Anyway, unmoving. They were going up the ladder now, back towards the entrance door. What happened to the raptor that attacked you? Grant said. I don't know. Did it leave? I didn't see it. I got away. I think because it was injured. I think Muldoon shot it in the leg, and it was bleeding while it was in here. Then, I don't know. Maybe it went back outside. Maybe it died in here. I didn't see it. And maybe it's still in here, Grant said. Wu stared out of the large window at the raptors beyond the fence. They still seemed playful, making mock attacks at Ellie. The behavior had continued for a long time now, and it occurred to him it might be too long. It almost seems as they were trying to keep Ellie's attention, in the same way she was trying to keep theirs. The behavior of dinosaurs had always been a minor consideration for Wu, and rightly so. Behavior was a second-order effect of DNA, like protein folding. You couldn't really predict behavior. You couldn't really control it, except in very crude ways, like making an animal depending on dietary substance by withholding an enzyme. But in general, behavioral effects were simply beyond the reach of understanding. You couldn't look at a DNA sequence and predict behavior. It was impossible. You were dealing with something out of the past, something constructed of ancient materials and follow ancient rules. You couldn't be certain why it worked as it did, and it had been repaired and modified many times already by forces of evolution over eons of time. So like the workman who made an adjustment and then see if the clock runs any better, Wu would make an adjustment and then see if the animals behaved any better, and he only tried to correct gross behavior. Uncontrolled butting of the electrical fences, or rubbing the skin raw on the tree trunk. Those were the behaviors that sent him back into the drawing board. And the limits of his science had left him with a mysterious feeling about the dinosaurs in the park. He was never sure, never really sure at all, whether the behaviors of the animals were hysterically accurate or not. Were they behaving as they really had in the past? It was an open question, ultimately unanswered. And though Wu would never admit it, the discovery that the dinosaurs were breeding represented a tremendous validation of his work. A breeding animal was demonstrated effective in a fundamental way. It implied that Wu had put all the pieces together correctly. He had recreated an animal millions of years old with such precision that the creature could even reproduce itself. But still, looking at the raptors outside, he was troubled by the precision of their behavior. Raptors were intelligent, and intelligent animals get bored quickly. Intelligent animals also formed plans. Harding came out into the hallway from Malcolm's room. "Where's Ellie?" "Still outside." "Better get her in, the raptors left the skylight." "When?" "Just a moment ago." "Ellie, inside, now!" "There's no problem, everything's under control." "Now! I know what I'm doing! Now, damn it!" And then Ellie stopped screaming and started to run along the inside of the fence. Muldoon slammed the door shut, dizzy with horror. It happened so fast. "He jumped down from the roof?" Muldoon nodded. He went to the window and looked out, and he saw that the three raptors outside the fence were now running away. But they weren't following Ellie. They were going back, towards the visitor center. Grant came to the edge of the maintenance building and peered forward in the fog. He could hear the snarls of the raptors, and they seemed to be coming closer. Now he could see their bodies running past him. They were going to the visitor center. He looked back at Gennaro. Gennaro shook his head no. Grant leaned close and whispered into his ear. "No choice. We have got to turn on the computers." Grant set out into the fog. After a moment, Gennaro followed.